with averages of 30 and 8 to win his first MVP. But that's not all, as both LeBron and KD would be eliminated in the playoffs, with KD specifically being sent home by the new-look Bulls, which means that both Steph Curry and Joel Embiid would be making it to the finals for the first time, where Steph will be in for a polar opposite point guard battle between himself and Ja Morant for the title. But while I could go on forever about how this one was a back and forth, let me just make it simple. Ja and Steph would be all tied up 3-3 in the series, but in Game 7, it would be Joel Embiid being the difference and the final piece, showing off his old man game, helping the Bulls take a lead in the fourth, and delivering the dagger that would seal the championship for Chicago. They got the 5-point lead, they got Steph Curry with the ball, they got Steph Curry with the assist, down to his brand new teammate, I should add, Joel Embiid. So just like that, Chicago would be walking away as champions, with both Joel Embiid and Steph Curry now on the board for the first time in their careers, and Steph Curry in particular now tied up with LeBron and Kevin Durant 1-1. We're all tied up. If you didn't make a prediction on who's going to win, I don't know, now would be the time. But with this championship, a very important question now arises. Can Chicago actually keep up this level of success? Because there's one very glaring issue with this team that could come back to bite them later. And it might even affect a Finals Game 7 down the line that will change Steph Curry's career forever. But for now, let's move on to Season 7 and put the spotlight back on LeBron, because right now Houston has a serious problem, as LBJ only has 1 year left on his contract and will hit free agency after this year. So he might be as good as gone. Because despite averaging around 25, 8, and 8 every single year ever since his first title, he keeps losing to the most random of teams. Take the Utah Jazz, for example. Solid squad, but definitely a surprise they'd be taking down the Rockets. So yeah, LeBron's probably leaving in the offseason. But before we find out where he goes, let's focus in on the Eastern Conference Finals, where we would see Kevin Durant and Steph Curry compete for a trip to the NBA Finals. Although this time, compete may be a stretch, as while the Steph Curry and Joel Embiid formula worked out last year, Joel is now at age 37. So when you compare that to LaMelo Ball, who's in the middle of his prime, this one would be over quick, with the Charlotte Hornets now moving on to LA to challenge the Clippers for the title. And while KD would be up against another star wing, Jason Tatum, in his quest to become more like Kobe, has made it onto an LA team. He would be the one yelling out, "We did it," as he and LaMelo have won their second title as a duo, now putting them up even higher in the record books, and just one title away from KD winning this whole thing. But with this season over, we will be seeing a massive team change for Season 8, as LeBron will be declining his player option to become a free agent, which is basically a long way of saying that he's leaving Houston. Now heading down to New Orleans to become a Pelican, bringing hope to fans of a team without a title, and even more hope to his #1 fan.
I honestly feel like if we had more people like LeBron James, we would have world peace.
Money on your head, I get your bankroll. I wake your mammy and your daddy if you ain't know. I pull up acting with that in my raincoat.
And what you just saw was LBJ averaging multiple career highs to average a triple-double and win his first MVP. And that stat boost could be caused by how different the Pelicans are as a team to the Rockets, as their team top to bottom was much more balanced compared to the Pelicans, whose role players are older, requiring LeBron and his new sidekick Paolo Banchero to carry on more of the load. But either way, the Pelicans are championship contenders, and they would start off their playoff run by defeating LA, OKC, and Utah to make it to the finals. And as far as his potential opponent goes, we'd see Kevin Durant and Steph Curry battle it out in the second round out east. And if you haven't noticed, the Bulls have dropped a couple seeds down all the way to 5th, which isn't horrible and still can be a contender. But the reason why this happened in the first place would be the absence of Joel Embiid, who retired in the offseason, leaving Steph with no sidekick and a bunch of role players by his side. So until that changes, he's 100% the underdog. But with there being real-life proof of Steph Curry's ability to carry role players, don't root against him just yet, as he'd be shocking the Hornets by winning the series 4-2, stunning the NBA world and seizing all the momentum for the rest of the postseason, as he's heading to the finals for his first matchup with LeBron. It took almost a decade, but we're finally here, and just like in real life, we would have an intense back and forth that would be extremely close, as LBJ's athletic display and Steph's unlimited range would clash back and forth all the way until a Game 7. And while there have been other Game 7s here and there over the course of the last 8 years, for the first time, it would go down to the wire in the fourth quarter. Game 7 is super close, as eventually with 147 left, we would see a 2-point game, where either LeBron or Steph will walk away with their second title to tie up